Last year, I talked about my favorite all-time Scooby-Doo movie, maybe one of my favorite animated movies ever, Zombie Island. It was a spooky, dark, and yet fun and enjoyable film that rightfully sits on the mantle of Scooby-Doo film royalty, and most already agree it's one of the all-time greats, if not the greatest, of Scooby-Doo movies. This year, I wanted to christen my newfound Halloween spirit with a casual yet intriguing look at a movie that I feel deserves the attention. Dead Silence. Fresh off his Saw success, and with Saw 3 out of the way, James Wan sought to continue his horror train outside of his infamous beginnings with a simple but effective film that, upon its initial release, I feel got a raw deal for not being Saw 4. It's by no means a masterpiece and breaks little ground at all, but people often call this movie trash or outright the worst James Wan film of all time simply because, in my personal opinion anyway, everyone Shyamalan the guy and wondered if he wasn't as good as they thought he was. But the movie is a good popcorn muncher with some thick atmosphere and scary ideas that I feel are worth discussing. Paving way for Annabelle and inspired slightly by Billy, this is Dead Silent. What the fuck? Oh, it's just some stupid alert. Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. Wait, hold on. Return? Return to Zombie Island? Oh my god, finally! Yes! Oh my god, it's happening! Oh, my heart is beating so fast, I can't believe they're going. I'm buying it right now. I don't care about the reviews, I'm buying it right now. Fuck Dead Silence. It can go suck on a puppet's nuts and smuggle a hand up its ass. This is my childhood calling. Life is truly beautiful.
One eternity later.
I hate everything, and I want the world to die. I watched this with an unwavering loyalty. A fan of the original, and for the first time in a long time, I surrendered hard-earned money for this without allowing any reviews of any kind to color my opinion before purchasing a copy. I mean, how could this be bad enough that I actually regret buying it? This movie is what happens when you compress liquefied rectal cancer into a blender and throw a shredded and molested copy of Zombie Island in, with just a pinch of razor blades so it really fucking hurts even more when we all get inevitably salty. I mean, just look at it! Its bright and contrasty, yet somehow uninteresting color palette and style are as lifeless and corporate as a PowerPoint presentation. That's the best way I can describe it. This new age digitized look is to animation what PowerPoint templates are. Except all you did was change the color brightness and fill in the blanks. Any other time it might have been acceptable, but not when your previous movie looked like this! Well, you get an F on your presentation, movie. A fat F so far up your ass you'll spit out the rest of the alphabet. You're the creepy uncle of the Scooby-Doo franchise. You show up out of the blue, ask for money, and can't stop talking about the old days while simultaneously eyeing my kids and licking your lips. You sick, perverted creep! Leave my childhood alone!
Looking like a double-wide surprise. God damn.
So, let's recap. In Zombie Island, after the gang break up, they separate only for them to all reconnect when Daphne, who's gone Zach Bagans on us, is trying a new segment for her reality show on television, which leads them all over the world in search of real ghosts.
Yeah, about that summer when I was working at that TV station for my school project.
Like, yeah, we know.
No, she wasn't doing a student project. Don't cut me off. Whatever, anyway,
We searched everywhere.
Stop it.
Including Moonscar Island.
Stop it!
We arrived at a house that looked a lot like this hotel, but then we were attacked by zombies.
Hey!
The zombies were actually victims of the cat people who had been draining innocent bystanders of their life force in order to stay alive for over 200 years.
You done? Good. Yes, that was real. What you just saw was their attempt at recapturing or at least remaking the original. Budget, time, effort, none of those excuse this level of a downgrade. It looks like I fucking light traced the damn thing myself. And they're not even remotely intimidating like they were in the original. Velma discredits the adventure as being unsolved because it was actually paranormal, for a gag about her being obsessed with solving it and going cuckoo over it. That's it. Most changes and jabs aren't made in good fun. They're deliberate perversions of the story to fit this one's awful sense of humor and comedy. Okay, it's not awful in my opinion, really, but if you're gonna mock or lampoon or, God forbid, change the lore, you'd better have a damn funny reason. I mean, I better rocket out of the skylight from the piss you giggle fit out of my bladder, you repugnant scumbags. It better be damn funny. Just a note here, I mean Scooby and the gang when I get angry like this, not the innocent creators. Regardless of intention, no human being deserves to be verbally lashed outside of fair criticism. And please, take nothing I say as direction toward them as people, nor even being creative types. I might dislike what they did, how they did it, and for a short while the people pissed me off really bad, but this is just catharsis for the traumatized and therapy for me, so don't take it too seriously, okay? Let's be adults here. Now, onto this poopy butthole movie. So, I guess let's start from the beginning. Scooby, Shaggy, and the gang are on one of their usual capers and catch all the baddies. Fred fantasizes all too sexually about his van and mowing down men in masks with homicidal glee before snapping out of it to find himself and the gang in the malt shop. Fred apparently sold the mystery machine. Yeah, there is a reason from the last movie because this is technically a sequel to the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo, but just why? Why would you sell the mystery machine? Why would you let this remain into this movie? Just so we can further diddlefuck this series and make these poor characters suffer even more? The gang all decide they need a vacation. Fred wanting to get over selling his van because he loved it like it was a serious girlfriend. Ha ha ha, is this joke as fucking tired as I am yet? And due to all their trauma from countless adventures, Shaggy and Scooby refuse to go anywhere or do anything other than watch the malt shop TV. The pair ironically want to watch Elvira, and she immediately hosts and announces the winners of a vacation getaway. Guess who? Just fucking guess.
It's Shaggy?
These days, you gotta have a secret.
So despite not even wanting to go to the theaters or parks due to their fears of mass criminals, Shaggy and Scooby apparently want to go on this long and faraway trip. Have you ever flown, or in general, handled planning a long vacation? I'm just saying, Scooby and Shaggy need a good staycation, not all that stressful shit. Just junk food, sunny morning walks, and porn. That's what they need. But we can't get to the violent and merciless raping of my and probably hundreds of thousands of other childhoods if they don't go, so they're off. Oh, and one more thing. Shaggy makes the gang promise not to attempt any mystery solving of any kind while on the trip. This is basically the entire point of this show, but here's the thing. Realizing this movie wasn't going to be good anyway, I settled in for it to embrace its stupidity and superfluous existence. And here and there, we actually get that. The gang can't find common ground or even really hold a conversation at all because they lack things in common besides solving mysteries. When something odd happens, the whole gang seems in agony trying to feign ignorance or pretend that nothing's odd, like recovering alcoholics. Or best of all, how Fred almost seems horny as he sadistically gleams when the deemed inferior van they're driving in is almost crushed and incapacitated by a werecat assailant.
This is a terrible van.
Looks like something slashed my van's tire.
Good.
Okay, it got a giggle out of me, if only for cruel absurdity, but other than that, it isn't self-deprecating enough to appeal to my cynicism, and it isn't classic Scooby-Doo enough to match the original, which itself was scarier than your average Scooby-Doo movie. The film just struggles to keep any kind of pacing or understand what tone it wants to have, and as you'll soon see, it drags its feet like the poor original movie probably did when they dragged it out into the streets and massacred my boy. Anyway, we already cut to the ferry ride to the supposed tropical island, and the gang try to ignore the obvious mystery before them, the captain's rantings about the island and so on. Also, the trees are plastic. But whatever, they just walk the rest of the way and ignore it as, again, they promise not to solve any mysteries in this show about solving mysteries. They arrive at the resort called Moonstar Island, and of course, the one time this shit is so obviously garbage and a fake trap of some kind is the time they can't say anything. But Shaggy, you aren't a fucking complete moron. For someone so paranoid, not only did you want to come here despite the mystery scrawled all over it, but now you would rather endanger everyone, including yourself, than just admit you gotta get the hell out of there or solve the mystery. You're an asshole. Here we get the aforementioned recap from earlier, wherein what should feel like a flashback, like heating up old leftovers, it instead feels like someone snuck too much brandy and in a drunken stupor tried to hide it by pissing in the bottle and putting it back. Once inside, they meet the self-proclaimed resort manager and his very small staff of lookalikes from the first movie, which were people who lived on an isolated island and kept a pretty low profile, and then disappeared, probably being dead. So, that's a little distasteful in-universe, isn't it? Twitter, I'm gonna need you to do your thing and get offended at the drop of a pin, please.
Huh. Everyone seems so...
attractive? Yes, well, that's because we have... standards.
No, you do not, movie. And do not diss my man Shaggy like that. He'll snap your fat neck. So Scooby and Shaggy do their thing and consume all the food in sight, and the gang mentions how the boat captain mentioned zombies on the island. The obvious fake staff overreacts, and the manager says they mustn't talk about it. So they don't, because Shaggy made them promise not to do any investigating. And it's so hilarious when they do the same half-defeated submission thing over and over and over and over and over again. It's like when someone who thinks they're quirky only makes anti-humor jokes, and eventually you realize, hey, can you even tell a real joke? Not calling anyone out, by the way, just how I feel watching this fucking atrocity take place. Zombies finally show up and scare Scooby and Shaggy during a massage, and oh boy, don't they just look like fucking shit! I mean, it's right in line with normal Scooby-Doo, but this is Zombie Island. These are the shit-your-pants scary designs that haunted and still haunt my nightmares. This is still more acceptable than this goofy and insulting downgrade right here. They see another one while hiding in a cupboard that trapdoors them into an underground ceremony site, where in the first movie, that was good, scary stuff happened. This movie sucks though. Nothing to add here, just my opinion. It takes zombies surrounding the hotel for Scooby and Shaggy to finally relieve the gang's shackles and undo the promise they made. Then they do their stuff and catch the people in masks who are all in thick makeup. This fucker appears again, breaks some curtains and makes fire, which does almost nothing, so whatever. The gang explains in excruciating detail how the hotel manager, who is revealed to be a director named Alan, staged everything for some kind of film he's shooting.
Why us?
Well, the only thing studios care about these days are franchises like those found footage horror movies that spawn a bazillion sequels.
What year did you write this? Those things haven't been as rampant and in demand since, like, I don't know, 2015, maybe 2016. So I guess it's like Paranormal Activity meets Zombie Island, what with the cameras, but let's be real. A live-action Zombie Island with the real-life actors would have been a billion times better than this diuretic squirt onto my fucking childhood. But they foiled his plans, and, I mean, what was your expectation? They'd question the obvious shit and leave the other stuff you fudge up alone? That's like expecting, well, mystery investigators to ignore obvious fuck-ups. It happens, even a lot, but not predominantly. Moron.
You only use the zombies. What about the cat people?
Those costumes are too expensive.
Oh, but paying off Elvira and her people, the life-size plastic palm trees, a boat with a creepy captain, the real island and mansion for a set, a small but sizable and talented crew, and a zillion cameras surely cost you nothing, Alan. You could have forked out for 2 to 3 werewolf costumes. Just say you hate furries, dude. Transparency with your crew builds teamwork and good relationships, I hear. Alan pulls some manipulative tactics, crying and teasing the gang's egos a little, and guess what? They're doing the movie still. Oh, by the way, Fred's been hearing and seeing the Mystery Machine on and off throughout the first half of this thing, and now we get the payoff. It's a beefed-up fake for the movie, and it's driven by a beefed-up, more handsome Fred. He's actually a stuntman. They're going to jump the hotel for an ending scene, so expect that will play into a final chase scene, because the self-deprecation and self-awareness have finally worn off, and we're slowly inching back toward the usual shtick. The gang aren't the best actors, but the production is going along decently otherwise. One more failed attempt at sabotaging this whole thing from this hairball, and Velma pieces together that there's a new mystery to solve, and she goes AWOL to search for clues. But all she finds are some scary animal eyes, and she immediately soaks her pants and runs. Right, even Scooby went from chasing and trying to maul the fucking cats on the island to being afraid of them. Everybody gets a downgrade. Well, they should be scared, because these fuckers are lethal. Look at this! Look at this! Out of the bushes come the main cat people for this film. 3 of them. Wait, where's the big Black Panther guy? Given this is part of a new wave of throwback Scooby-Doo movies, and they reference Shaggy's red shirt werewolf days in an earlier shot, I think it's just a cheap way to connect them all. So a waste of time. Moving on. Alan burns the boat so that no one can leave till the movie's finished, in a moment of craziness, so they have no way off the island. Now, nitpicky maybe, but I hate this scene right here. Fred pulls off this daring rescue of the vehicle to both house and save everyone from the fast and lethal cat people in a somewhat dramatic moment. But he does it just to save the damn Mystery Machine. I know modern humor loves flanderizing these characters, but they are still, like, good people, right? Or must every seemingly selfless act be for selfish reasons? If that's the only reason you did this, you deserve to die. Maybe I spoke too soon about that. Nah, what do you think? He makes it out and they all escape the encroaching cat people. They jump the house after a bridge is knocked out, as expected, and then the cat people chase them around the house to music I'm sure was meant as an homage to their original 70s show, but comes off as another insult when we compare it side by side with the soundtrack from the superior one. Looking for a place to hide, Scooby and Shaggy show the gang the cabinet passage to Simone and Lena's shrine, and Velma gets an idea on how to lure and trap the three cats. They dress as zombies, and when the cats come looking, they believe the gang is cursed by the Moonscar treasure, which isn't how Simone and Lena got cursed, goddammit! They wanted to kill the pirates and curse them, so they were given the power by their cat gods, which unfortunately made them into immortal cat monsters that kill to survive. The treasure isn't cursed. The island and the owners are, and maybe even the zombies since they rise from the dead, but, like, what? Whatever. Small insult compared to everything else. The three cat people end up being these guys. They reveal they don't know who the Panther was. The treasure just happens to be near, and for some reason Alan gets to take it all and retire because fuck the people who actually found it, I guess. And the movie's finally over.
Good.
I agree, Fred. It is good. Because I want to enter a caramel-induced coma and never wake up. This thing is an insult. But here's the deal, guys. And I know it's weird given all I've said. The original is intact. Nothing can take away that the true Zombie Island is Scooby-Doo royalty, patrician among its peers by a wide margin. This movie is a separate, independent story that we can take or leave as we please, and right now I choose to pretend it doesn't exist. Because it isn't honoring the original or building on it. It's not a continuation or a commemoration or a remake. It's a goddamn molestation. And it's not worth your time. Best I got is this video out of it, but dead silence would have been even better. But I think it deserved to be reiterated for the millionth time by somebody else on the internet. This movie is an insult. But like any insult, I can let it roll right off my shoulder. Into a flaming barrel, where it will wilt and become ash. Happy Halloween, you dirty pervert. Hey all, I really appreciate the patience. I really appreciate the patience everybody's been giving me over the past couple months, even including the last video, which was different than my normal stuff and didn't have my patrons in it and didn't even get charged. It was just a random test, which got received kind of positively, so I might do more of that in the future, more like ad-based reviews, things like that, you know, just off-the-cuff shit. But realistically, I do want to get back to reviews 90% of the time. And I want to start streaming more often, so I want to get back to doing what people actually want me to do, and I'm absolutely fine with that. I'm very excited to get back to it. I'm going to be hiring an editor soon to do another video every month, which I'll slowly work into it. But regardless, I'm going to have help. I've been going through a lot of life stuff as well. Just a lot has been hitting me, but I really appreciate everyone's patience. I've got new patrons, as you probably saw on the patrons page, or I'm sorry, you're probably seeing right now, considering this is the end of the video. It's been a wild ride, and I'm so grateful for the new patrons and those who had to reduce their amounts, please don't worry about it. I know things are really weird right now, and those who had to drop off completely, I'm sorry I had to see you go, but you are still totally welcome on my channel, commenting, etc. Obviously, I mean, I can't stop you. I'm just saying, like, you're welcome. Like, there's no hard feelings. I totally get it. Yeah, I mean, life is different now, but you know, everything's really great. I mean, you guys make my life so much better. I love reading your comments. I get comments every day, and some of them are even just really flattering, and I really appreciate it, guys. I'm nearing 200 followers on Twitter, too. That's fucking blows my mind. I got a lot of voice work lined up now, thanks to a lot of my husk work on Has-Been Hotel-related stuff and stuff with my buddy Austin Trench, who is a great YouTuber you should be subscribed to, by the way. Sorry, I was, you don't have to. I was just kidding. But yeah, thank you so much for your patience, and I hope to see you guys soon, and I will. And sorry I didn't continue the little hint I gave at the end with Soft. That's coming soon, I promise. Everything will be revealed. Cheers, guys.